Hi everyone, my name is Jill Kesty. I just spent 2 hours on the phone with a street person, a friend of mine from the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. I offered him a place to come. He's currently living in downstate area, downstate Michigan. He has got a couple tents, tent within a tent, and it's getting cold. Here in the Upper Peninsula, we're expecting our average snowfall of 300 inches this year. And I offered for him to come and live in my basement for a month, him and his dog. This will be the first test run of Gogh House and helping somebody on a longer term stay. Got a couple people here a couple months ago for 11 days. Wasn't really a Gogh House type situation. They didn't really need my help that drastically, but I had a couple people staying here. Now I've offered it to my friend downstate, who has been on the streets for many years. It's hard to open up your own home, especially if you're used to living alone. I am ready to help and see what pitfalls lie ahead having somebody stay here who is in a position where they need help and support and a roof over their heads, a safe space. That's Biga crying, I don't know if I can handle a dog. You can handle a dog. You'll be all right. Doggy will be in the basement. We will shut the door. She will not be eaten. Anyway, if you want to support the Gogh House idea, check out my Patreon account at www.patreon.com/JillKesty. You can donate as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, for a cause that you believe in, and that will be an alternative to the psychiatric ward. The goal of the Gogh House is to avoid hospitalization, and therefore the drugging system and the forced drugging system, which is definitely a part of the mental health care or treatment. Gogh House will not have forced drugging. There will be no one forced to do anything they don't want to do. You don't want to get out of bed for 5 days and then join groups. You don't have to. You can just sleep. You will not be forced in any form or fashion. Forced psychiatric drugging is torture, according to the United Nations and the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Therefore, other options need to be created immediately. My option is Gogh House. I have been working on this idea for 24 years, since my first hospitalization in 1999. Vincent van Gogh was a, what would you call him? Human being. He was labeled with mental illness and spent time at an asylum. A lot of time. Did a lot of his best work there. Treated by Dr. Gachet with absinthe. One of the old treatments for quote-unquote mental illness. If you are a believer in mental illness, I highly suggest and recommend you look at the Coalition to End Forced Psychiatric Drugging on Facebook. Within that database, you will find information that'll help decondition you from the belief you have in mental illness existing. At the least, you'll come away calling these labels in the DSM disorders, but you will never believe again that your bipolar is a disease or an illness. It isn't. Disorder, I don't believe in any of them, except for autism. That's not a psychiatric label anyway. But if anything, we're autistic people with problems in living. There's no such thing as OCD. There's no such thing as ADHD. There's no such thing as being a disordered human being. That is my belief. And I will show you the information that I researched that helped me to change my belief. I'm no longer Jill that needs a pill. I am Jill Kesty, human being. And I don't believe in the labels I've been given of bipolar, schizoaffective, identity disorder. None of it. The DSM is garbage. The United Nations realizes this, and there are many countries moving away from using the DSM at all. There's another manual out there. I can't remember. It's called the World Health Organization something. Either way, at the Gogh House, you will not be disordered. You will be treated as a human being. Your trauma will not be met with more trauma. You will be greeted with compassion and given a safe space and support to navigate your crises, whatever kind it may be. We want to stop people from getting shot by the police during wellness checks. We want to stop people from being held down by 8 staff members and injected with brain-disabling psychotropic neurotoxins. We want to stop forced catheterizations in ERs just to find out if people are on drugs. None of that shit matters. The person is in crisis. Help them. Do not further harm them. Please. Join me on Coalition to End Forced Psychiatric Drugging. Join the CSX Movement page. Both are on Facebook. Donate to my Patreon fund. Or just share our posts. Like our information. We're being shadow banned. Censored. Nobody wants to rock the boat. And Big Pharma is currently driving that boat. It's time to rock it. Get off. Go to alternative remedies. Go to anything but forced psychiatric drugging. The number one connection I have made in my research is the school shootings are directly caused by the drugs themselves, the neurotoxins, and by the force inherent in the system. When people realize that they will be force drugged, they make their own way out. They do not ask for help. When they have a crisis, when they have suicidal ideation, when they have homicidal ideation, they do not tell people. And these things do happen. And they are happening. And they will continue to happen unless we do something about it. Gogh House is my solution. A wellness center, an alternative to the Psych Ward, a safe space. The location will be in Calumet, Michigan, up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where there are few people and lots of space that we can go out into the woods and scream our heads off. And that will be happening. We will have avenues for you to safely process and have emotions that are unpopular. Please support me. Please support my ideas. They're not mine alone. They're many people's. And we can't continue with the system we currently have. Thank you for listening. Jill Kesty.